Good morning, Mr. McDermott.
Ask Joe to give it a wash and wax this morning, will you?
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Early morning. Or late night.
Breakfast meeting with the Hotel Owners Association.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean... I wasn't prying.
I know. It's okay.
Oh, Peter, this is so awkward. I just don't know where we stand in it.
Neither do I. But we'll work through it. Walk you to your office.
These negotiations may open up a new source of Thai silk for us.
Well, office services has a typist and a notary on call. And room service is standing by with a complete Oriental menu. They have meat crab, shrimp toast.
You're very efficient, Miss Gillette.
Just following orders. Miss Gresham and I talked on the phone.
Several times.
Oh, no doubt. I sometimes think she can read my mind.
After 18 years of being his personal secretary, it's easier than he thinks.
Mr. Danforth, I was hoping I'd catch you. Ward Matthews. I'm a private investigator here in town.
We have business?
Well, I guess you might call it personal business of a sort. You see, I think I've found your granddaughter.
I don't know what kind of joke you think you're playing.
This way, Mr. Danforth.
Well, it's no joke, sir. Of course, she's not the 3-year-old you remember from before the kidnapping. But I've checked her records, tracked her back 15 years, to when she was abandoned in a small town in Arkansas.
And now you expect a reward?
Well, I believe you did offer $100,000 for her safe return.
If I took the word of every opportunist who crawled out of the woodwork, I'd have a dozen Karens by now.
I think you'll feel differently, sir, once you see her.
No, Mr. Matthews. I will not see her, or you. My family's misfortune is not going to be turned into a shell game.
Oh, before you go in there...
Good. Unposed, candid. I love it. Mr. McDermott, I'm Gary Marsh. This is Brian Norcross, the photographer on the campaign. We'd like to thank you very much for going along with us on this.
Could you excuse me for a minute?
They're here for a new ad campaign for the Cabot Hotels. They want to stress the personal touch, and Charles Cabot called to let you know you're to be the focus of the St. Gregory's print ads.
Well, if he called about all this, why didn't I know it?
He just called 5 minutes ago.
How very Charles.
And they want to use me in these ads? I hate this. I really hate this.
Remember, we need his support for the new renovation budget.
Anything else I should know?
Oh, you asked me to remind you about Linda Davis. I set the Orleans suite aside for her.
Linda Davis?
Yeah, the kid sister of a guy I grew up with. He's a tomboy, pigtails, freckles. She used to beat up on me. Her brother asked me to show her around the city.
Quite a day you have in store. Photographers, tomboys.
Here we go. So, you grew up with Mr. McDermott.
Yes. Peter and I fought all through elementary school.
He wasn't too tough on you, Miss Davis.
No, I managed to hold my own.
And upon the successful completion of these negotiations... Where was I?
These negotiations.
Sorry, I can't seem to concentrate.
You're thinking about Karen, aren't you?
Ruth, I lost her 16 years ago. Now, if she were alive, we would have heard something legitimate long before now. No one wants her back more than I do, but she's gone. Now, if I've learned to live with that...
You can't blame yourself, Franklin. You followed the ransom instructions to the letter. You paid every penny they demanded.
I could have brought the police in sooner. I could have offered a larger reward. 100 things. But none of them would bring her back now. Any more than seances or psychics or some detective with his cock and bull story.
But as long as there's the slightest chance, shouldn't you just...
No. She lives only in our memory now. Like her parents. Let us allow them to rest in peace.
All right, turn this way. A little bit. Chin up. More. All right, now smile. Smile. A little more.
Do you think you could be a little looser, Peter? A little more relaxed?
I'm not a model, Gary.
He's telling us.
Couldn't you just take a picture of the staircase without me on it?
Now, the thrust of the campaign is the personal touch. It's the service, the smiles, and the people who make the St. Gregory so special, you see?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's try it again. You're doing great.
Okay, here we go. No, sorry. He's sweating. Touch up.
On the way.
Yeah, I have a hotel to run, and I can't do that and play poster boy at the same time.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but these work orders need your approval.
Hey, no, it's fine, Christine. Can we take a break, fellas?
I understand your childhood nemesis has checked in. You're gonna have to face her sooner or later.
Right, I know. Well, I'll drop by her suite after this session. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have the wrong suite.
Well, Peter,
Linda?
it's me.
Little Linda?
Come on in.
Well, you've changed.
You haven't.
Well, I grew a beard.
But it doesn't hide your smile. I would know you anywhere. What happened to that tooth I chipped?
What's lucky for you, I got a good dentist. I'm stronger than you are now, you know.
You always were. You were just too polite to hit back.
So, what are you doing in San Francisco?
Vacation. My first in years. It's not easy when you own your own business. I have a construction company in Iowa.
A construction company? Why am I not surprised?
Peter, there is so much to catch up on. Why don't we do it over dinner? I heard about this wonderful restaurant on Russian Hill. It's my treat. Unless you have other plans.
Well, no. I'd like that.
Did you see him? What'd he say?
He's tougher than I thought. I don't blame him for not wanting to open up old wounds.
But he's got to see me, you promised.
I told you we'd get in to see him, and we will. But you've got to be patient.
You know what patient gets you? 4 years in an orphanage, hoping you're cute enough so someone will want to take you home. It's getting bounced from one foster home to another, then finally a family with kids who won't let you forget you're adopted, a father who drinks too much and hits you when he does. I don't want to be patient anymore. I want a home, a family of my own.
Karen, you've got to trust me. I'll make him see you. And when he sees you, he'll know you're his granddaughter. Everything's gonna be okay. You'll see.
As far back as I can remember, I've never been anybody. Just a ward of the state, an extra mouth to feed, a runaway. But now I have a chance.
That's right. A chance. So let's improve the odds, all right? Okay. Tell me what your room looked like. The wallpaper.
Beige, with rows of pink and sort of orange flowers.
Your favorite toy.
Ginny, a rag doll with red hair and a green silk dress.
Okay, now on your way home from the zoo that day, how many men stopped a car?
There were 3.
Mail check.
Sorry, hon, nothing yet.
Waiting for the results is harder than the bar exam itself, especially the second time around.
Maybe in the afternoon mail. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Gary, where have you been, man? I've been looking all over for you.
What are you so happy about? We've got $1 million campaign slipping through our hands, all because McDermott won't say cheese.
Wait, maybe not. Now, all we need is somebody who represents the St. Gregory, right? Somebody whose look can say, stay with us, and you're going to want to do just that. Am I right?
Right.
Check these out.
Christine Francis.
Yes.
I hear the Dutch apple pie in this place is terrific. Let me buy you a slice while we talk about Karen.
I don't think we should.
Miss Gresham, when I first met Karen, she was a street kid, runaway. But the dreams she told me about didn't square with the lower class life she ran away from. They were too vivid, too detailed. They were more like flashes of memory, of someone else's memory. And I wanted to find out whose. This is what I came up with. Medical records, blood type and match, etc. Just take a look at them. That's all I ask.
Billy. You recognize him?
Yeah, local guy. His name is Matthews, I think. Private investigator. That's about it.
Could you sort of check him out for me?
Sure.
Very thorough, Mr. Matthews. But all it proves is that this girl might be Karen Danforth, not that she is.
Well, 100% ID would require prints and a tissue match. With both parents deceased and only a foreign birth certificate to go by, this is the best that can be done. Short of talking with Karen herself.
There is a resemblance to Karen's mother, but I've seen it in every would-be Karen. I think I want to see it.
Miss Gresham.
Please. You can't possibly remember me.
Mr. Matthews told me who you were. I'm afraid I don't remember much before the orphanage, except bits and pieces. Sometimes I see pictures of things, like a bedroom with a high ceiling and rows of pink and sort of orange flowers on the walls. I had a dream once about an old rag doll with bright frizzy red hair and a green silk dress. Ginny.
Karen brought a doll like that back from Milan when her parents returned from our factory over there. She was only 2. Ginny was as close as she could come to saying Gina. Did you ever dream of taking a trip on an ocean liner?
I remember coming down a long white stairway and a man with white hair who made me cry.
I don't know who you could be talking about. Certainly not one of our staff. I don't remember anything like that. And the rest could have come from any number of sources.
Excuse me.
She's just nervous, a little excited.
I'm sorry, Mr. Matthews. I really have to be getting back upstairs.
But I see it so clearly. He picked Ginny and me up, and his beard was so scratchy it made me cry.
My God. It was so long ago. We drove into New York to meet the ship. It was the first time Karen had ever seen Mr. Danforth. He'd grown a beard. He thought it made him look dignified. But the way it made you cry, he shaved it off. That could have been...
Miss Gresham, if there's even a chance that this is Karen, won't you help us get to Mr. Danforth? Help convince him.
I don't know.
Why'd you take a chance like that? It's something I hadn't researched. Something we haven't even talked about.
It just seemed right.
You're joking.
No joke. We think that you'd be perfect. The camera loves you.
Well, the hotel needs me. What about Charles Cabot?
I already cleared it with Charles. He thinks it's a wonderful idea.
He's wrong.
Well, you tell him that. Christine, it's for the St. Gregory.
Oh, dirty pool, Peter. You know, that's the only argument I can't fight.
Great. We'll start tonight with some skyline shots from the penthouse. You don't mind, do you, Peter?
I do. I don't want to run you out of your suite.
It's okay, really. I got that old friend to show around anyway.
Perfect. Say about 8 o'clock? Are you excited? I'm excited.
Thank you.
Miss Gresham, I really wouldn't push like this if it weren't so important to Karen. Did you get a chance to talk with Mr. Dan?
Yes, I did. But I'm afraid it didn't do any good. His mind is made up.
Well, there must be some way to work this out.
He did ask me to make reservations for us in the Carlisle. He calls it a working dinner. I think he expects me to take notes between courses. 8 o'clock. But you didn't hear it from me.
Perfect. Now, look a little this way. Is there a problem?
It's my fault, Brian. She caught me staring.
Can't say I blame you. All right, look, I gotta reload anyway. Now, just don't go anywhere.
I'm sorry if I embarrassed you.
No, not at all. Well, a little.
I think you'd be used to getting looked at. A woman as beautiful as you are.
Okay, now you're embarrassing me.
Have dinner with me tomorrow night.
I can't.
Somebody else?
Well, not really. The truth is, I'm not sure. I guess it's complicated.
Well, maybe an uncomplicated dinner is just what you need.
Let's remember why we're here, shall we?
Thank you. Beautiful.
Either I'm getting older or negotiations are getting harder. Another couple of days like this and I'll be ready for a tie silk straitjacket.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
What are you looking at? Do you think that's her? The girl?
It must be. And doesn't she look like...
No, I'm not going to play that game. With you or anyone else.
You know, Karen, I think it'd be better if you sat over here.
Mr. Matthews has gone to a great deal of trouble. But it's all for nothing.
You were saying?
I'll see her.
Peter, you made that up. I never pushed you into the lake. I didn't.
Face it, when other girls played nurse, you supplied the patients.
Well, yes, but if I'd known you were going to turn out like this, I think I would have staked a claim on you back in the 5th grade. How is it that you're still single after all these years?
Well, I was married. It didn't work out as well as either of us had hoped.
And now? No one else?
I don't know. How's that for an answer?
Evasive.
Well, it wasn't meant to be. There's been a more recent relationship, but I honestly don't know where it stands, where it's going, if it's going. I do know that I should be going.
Oh, but how about tomorrow? Let me show you San Francisco.
I think that's my line.
Oh, well, in that case, I accept. Let's say 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
Good. Oh, Peter?
Hmm?
Good night.
Night.
I only remember pieces, but they never come in together into anything whole. I see my father in a big broom filled with color, unrolling a big bolt of bright red cloth, pulling threads out of it. And then it's like someone changes the channel and I see you in a garden filled with flowers, roses, and then a short man with a wrinkled face.
That would be Stevens, the gardener. He hasn't worked at the house in 10 years.
Every newspaper and magazine in the country carried articles, pictures of the house, of the staff. We were on public display for over a year. Do you remember anything that wasn't carried on the front page somewhere?
A big house with tiled floors and stone walls. Mother would read under the arbor while I played in the garden. Or was that the foster home in Arkansas? It gets so I can't tell the old memories from the new ones anymore.
Yes, yes, very convenient. You and Mr. Matthews have put on quite a good show, but I'm afraid it's only a show. What is he paying you for all this? A percentage of his reward?
I'm not here for money. I remember things. And the more I remember, the more I miss. Of my family, of my own family.
Your family? Your family?
Please don't turn your back on me. Don't shut me out after all I've been through. I won't let you push me away like you pushed my father away. You were angry at something he did, and you yelled at him that he was no son of yours. Now you're doing it to me.
How could you know that? We were alone. There was no one else in the room.
Except, possibly, a 3-year-old girl playing with her rag doll under the big oak desk in your study.
Yes. Karen used to hide under the desk. Karen. My Karen.
I saw the light on.
Well, I thought I should get some more work done. Today was kind of busy.
Did you eat?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a bite.
Oh. With Linda?
Mm-hmm. How was the photo session?
Fine. Gary asked me to dinner tomorrow night.
Oh? Well, Linda wanted me to show her around the city tomorrow.
Are you going to?
I promised her brother I would. What about Gary? Are you having dinner with him?
Would that bother you?
Well, we said we should pull back. Not be so serious. Have more fun.
Does that mean dating other people?
I don't know. Does it?
I don't know.
I swear, if those bar exam results aren't in the afternoon mail, I'm gonna give it all up.
Right. And do what?
I don't know. Become a professional surfer. I'll follow the sun.
You know how easily a sunburn.
I didn't say it was a perfect plan. We'll talk about it at lunch.
Okay.
You buy.
There's sure nothing like this in Iowa. You love it here, don't you?
San Francisco is the best. I feel like it's mine, but I bet everybody in San Francisco feels the same way. It's a special place.
It's a special place for a special man.
I'm sorry, that was too forward, wasn't it? Peter, I don't mean to make you feel...
It's not you. It's me. And it's you.
Well, is that good or bad?
I don't know. I just know I'm having a good time.
Well, that's something. I'll settle for that. If you throw in dinner. I mean, not that I'm keeping track, but I do think that it's your turn.
You bought more dresses for me in one morning than I've owned my entire life. I don't feel like I deserve all this.
Well, we both deserve it. I haven't bought anything more exciting than a three-piece suit for more years than I care to remember. This is fun for me, too, you know, Karen.
But I feel like I'm getting in the way. All those meetings you had Miss Gresham cancel?
No, there's so much catching up to do. So much time to be made up for. I don't want to waste 1 second.
The only thing missing are my parents. Mr. Matthews never told me what happened.
Your kidnapping was terrible. For all of us. But particularly for your father. He went into a tailspin, lost interest in everything, and started to drink. One night, he and Elaine went out to dinner. He was driving. On the way home, he lost control of the car. They were killed instantly.
I guess we were all kidnapped that day, weren't we?
A little bit more, all right. Look to him. Give him the look. That's the look. Look back to me. Back to me. Chin up. Oh, good. All right, now just a bit more smile. No, that's too much. I want friendly, but not too friendly. Know what I mean?
Somewhere between the Mona Lisa and Bozo the Clown?
It's a fine line. Cross it if you dare.
All right, now I want you to act as if you were really in charge here, okay?
I am really in charge. Where did you get him?
So what about that dinner tonight?
I'm sorry.
What about dinner? You promised me an answer.
Christine, I'm afraid I won't have those new contracts to you till sometime in the morning. I have plans tonight.
Well, tomorrow will be just fine. About dinner. I'd love to.
Great.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the look. That's the look.
From what I've been able to find out, Ward Matthews works both sides of the street. Wherever the money is.
I had my suspicions of him, of course. But he's given me back my granddaughter, for God's sake.
That's why I asked Mr. Griffin to look into his background.
I wish I could tell you he's above trying to pull a scam, but I can't. He's almost had his license pulled a couple of times. Charges of perjury, insurance fraud. Though nothing against him's ever been proven.
Dear.
I'm sorry we couldn't bring you more welcome news, but I thought you ought to know.
Thank you. Where is she now?
With Mr. Matthews.
This is all you've got?
It's not only all I've got, it's all there is. Decorator felt we should rely on his reputation.
His reputation is fine, but how can we go ahead without more than this ballpark estimate?
Peter, I'm doing my best on this project, but the man is impossible. Mr. McDermott, Miss Davis would like to see you a moment.
We'll send her in.
Hi, Peter. Well, I was just leaving for Union Street, and I wanted to stop by and confirm dinner at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, I'll pick you up. Oh, Linda Davis, Christine Francis, our general manager.
How do you do?
Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm sorry to interrupt your meeting. I'll see you tonight.
So, that's Linda.
She grew up.
So it seems. She's beautiful.
Well, Gary's not so bad himself.
So, we're both dating after all. Isn't this fun?
And after Neiman Marcus, we stopped at Saks, where he bought me this for only $300. And then, of course, there is this little number.
Sure, you got what you want.
What's the matter with you?
It's what's the matter with you. You're starting to act like you believe our little story yourself.
So what if I am a little? It could be true. I want it to be.
Well, if wishes were all it took, then we'd both be millionaires. But we're not. All the time you're out there shopping with your sugar daddy, the odds are going up that you're going to get too friendly and talk too much. And the old man will get wise and decide to welch on the reward, and then I'm going to be left out in the cold. Don't forget that we are still in this together. And if I don't get what I want, nobody gets anything. So don't choose between us.
Don't try to make me.
Karen! Open his door! Karen!
And in this terrible weather. Oh, no, not since mid-afternoon, Mr. Griffin. Mr. Matthews thought she was with us. Oh, yes, I'm sure you'll find her. I just hope it's soon. Yes.
I checked the lobby, the shopping arcade, and the coffee shop. No sign of her. I keep flashing back 16 years to the last time she disappeared.
Franklin, stop doing this to yourself. You are no more responsible for her now than you were then. And after what Mr. Griffin told us, we really can't be sure if it is Karen. Karen, my God. Come in, dear. You're chilled to the bone.
I wanted to run, get away from Matthews, but I couldn't go back to the street.
Get her out of those wet clothes. I'll call for a doctor.
Dave? It's just turned up at the bell captain's desk for you. Is it what I think it is?
The question is it what I hope it is?
Oh, honey.
Is it life or death? It's a test. It's a simple test. If I pass, that's terrific. If I fail, I just become the world's oldest living bellhop.
Well?
I'm a
We got some unfinished business.
Can't it wait until tomorrow morning?
No, I want the money that's due me. dredge that girl up out of the gutter or put all this together just for my own amusement.
Understand this, Mr. Matthews. I hate the men who kidnapped my granddaughter. But I despise the bloodsuckers who tried to turn my family's tragedy into their personal profit.
Are you accusing me? No. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to tell me I don't get anything, is that it? Yeah, I might have known it. The rich get richer. If I don't get my money, you don't get a granddaughter, old buddy.
What are you saying?
I'm telling you, she's a phony. I made her up. Once I found a girl with the right look, the right blood type. Oh, and her name was Loretta then. Well, I coached her. I taught her everything. Every little detail about your life, about your family, about your house.
Stop.
Karen.
What he says is true, as far as it goes. I was desperate for a way off the street, and he gave me one. Learning about you and your family seemed like a small price to pay. But what started out as a story began to feel like a part of me. Maybe it was the endless repetition, I don't know. But something inside me answered back. And that's when the dream started. I can't blame you for not knowing who I am. I don't know anymore myself.
I'm going to write you a check for $10,000, Mr. Matthews, on condition that you leave us immediately and permanently.
10,000. Yeah, the reward was for 100 grand, pal.
I don't believe in rewarding criminals. And make no mistake, that is what you are. Now, accept this token payment for all your trouble and leave us alone or face charges of attempted fraud and risk losing your license. The choice is yours.
Some choice.
Why did you do that?
Because I need a family. And so do you.
You mean you do believe I'm Karen?
I'm not sure what I believe. But you know just enough to make me wonder. And you believe that you're Karen. My Karen. So perhaps that's enough for now.
Sorry to keep you waiting. An owner's work.
No, don't explain. I understand.
Marlene, we didn't order those.
I did. Black Russians. Okay with you?
Yeah, sure. Some people find them a little sweet, but I like them fine.
Boy, I'm losing points left and right, aren't I?
Points? You make it sound like this is a test of some kind.
Peter, with every look, I see you comparing me with someone else. Someone who lets you pick the restaurant, lets you make the first move, doesn't order Black Russians.
I'm just in a difficult place right now.
I know I'm not helping. I know I'm too pushy, too aggressive. Growing up with 5 brothers, I guess I had to be, just to hold my own. But it got me where I am today. Successful. Alone.
Yeah, but the problem isn't you, Linda. It's just too soon for me to even think about a romantic involvement with anyone.
But if you were to, would I stand a chance, honestly?
Any man would be a fool not to fall in love with you.
That's about the nicest rejection I've ever received. You know, Peter, I've got a plane in the morning. Would you mind terribly if we made it an early evening?
Give me Dexter Gordon on the sax, Ella Fitzgerald at the microphone, and a beautiful woman to share my table, and I'm a happy man.
We had Ella here last year. What a voice. I'm glad you like jazz.
What?
Oh, I don't know. You, me, this evening. It's just more difficult than I'd remembered. I listen to myself and I sound like Barbara Walters. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food?
Nervous?
Yes.
Well, you shouldn't be. We're gonna have a great time together tonight. What do you say we toast to that? Something wrong?
Your ring. I never noticed it before. Is that a wedding ring?
Is that a problem?
A problem? All of this attention, the compliments, the wine, and you're married?
I never said I wasn't. The ring has been here all along.
I never thought to look. What can I say? I'm out of practice.
Christine, if I've been reading you right, you're not looking for a commitment now any more than I am. Just a good time, a little fun. Am I wrong?
I'm not looking for a relationship, that's for sure, but...
But you said it yourself. Every conversation we've had has been more like an interview. I feel like I'm being auditioned as a replacement for Peter McDermott.
You know about Peter?
I'd have to be blind not to.
I think this evening has been a mistake for both of us. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. If you want to stay, stay. And try the souffle. It's a house specialty.
Miss Francis.
I heard the band was wonderful. Thought I'd stop by and judge for myself.
Are you joining Mr. McDermott?
Yes. No?
Your date over so soon?
I could ask you the same thing.
Well, yeah, well, it was good. Great, really. She had to get up early tomorrow morning, back to Iowa. What about the ad man?
Great. It was great.
So if we both had such wonderful evenings, what are we doing here alone?
Good question.
You feel like dancing? Christine, we were friends long before we were lovers. Frankly, I could use a friend about now.
Me too. This new relationship of ours is going to take some getting used to.
I won't stop being jealous.
Neither will I.